contentment. I'm happy here and now. I'm happy here and now. Happiness isn't, I'm not waiting for something else to happen in the future to be happy, to be content, you see. I'm happy in the present moment. And generally speaking, for people like us, generally speaking means 99% of our lives. If we actually stop to pay attention to our present, it's actually all right. See, right now, here and now, it's all right. You're not in, excruciating pain. Chances are that most of you didn't have somebody just die on you, some loved one just die. And most times it's not all right, You can say, well, if you just got hit by a car, or you just lost your job, or you just lost your loved one, then, no, it's not all right. But, most of the time, it is, actually. Most of the time, we're not in that situation. So, to just be content with the here and now, with the present, is another form of contentment. It's just fine. Everything's fine right now. So we're not hungry, we're not cold. Everything's fine right now. Mostly it's that way, actually. Most of our lives are like that. But instead of stopping and noticing that, we cast our minds into, mostly into the future. And just think about all the stuff that could go wrong. Mostly we're just sitting around thinking about all the stuff that could go wrong. Worrying about the future, right? I don't know how your mind is, but I think it's mostly, for me, it's mostly about 80%, I think. 80% of my consciousness is thinking about what's going to happen next. And generally speaking, worrying about it. Wondering, is there going to be a green room at Woodman's? I don't know. Is anybody going to show up to the talk? And sitting around thinking about what could happen in the future, right? Instead of just noticing that, well, here in the present is fine, everything's fine, you see. Or, then about maybe 10%, 15% is thinking about stuff that already happened, you see. And then going over it over and over again, you see. And just kind of get stuck in the rut, like a broken record at going, oh, what she said to me, oh, she said that, she said that, huh? See, over and over and over again, oh, that person really hurt me, that person really hurt me. Past is done, yo. Past is over, okay? So move on. And the future hasn't come. And the future is never the way you think it's going to be anyway. Have you noticed that? As soon as the future becomes the present, it's like, wow, I wasn't really expecting that, right? So we're sitting around worrying about the future that never turns out to be the way that we think it is anyway, or sitting around thinking about a time that's over. That the only past that there is some part of your present mind. That's the only past that there is some idea of the past in your present mind. And if you're sitting around making yourself miserable by thinking over and over and over again about some time that has ceased to exist, you're just tormenting yourself unnecessarily. It's just totally unnecessary. So much of our unhappiness is unnecessary. So much of it is self-afflicted, self-inflicted, right? So much of it. And, so I was telling the group this afternoon, the first level of a spiritual life is recognizing that, we are unhappy. But then saying, I don't want to be unhappy. And stop hurting yourself over and over again. Stop embracing suffering. And thinking well, I'm just so used to it. See, most of us are just so used to it. We're just so habituated to being unhappy that we can't break out of our own little cycle. We can't break out of our own little habits. We think we want to be happy, but then we keep doing the things over and over again that makes us unhappy. I was in this very room. When was it? I guess maybe, I don't know when it was. When I was talking about forgiveness. When was that? Well, could have been any time. No, it was November, wasn't it? Yeah. And, how important forgiveness is for our own happiness. You cannot be happy and be holding resentments at the same time. Have you noticed that? You can't be sitting around reviewing over and over and over again, oh, this person hurt me, this person, I'm so pissed off at this person. You can't just be holding on to those resentments and angers anger, and be happy. So if we're sitting around thinking, on the one hand, we sit around thinking, yes, I want to be happy. We all want to be happy. You know, kind of whether you admit it or not, that's what you want to be happy. You can call it anything you want. You can call it fulfillment, or you can call it, you know, whatever it is, a completion in your life. But what it means is to be happy. I want to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. But then on the other hand, we refuse to do the thing that would make us happy. We refuse to do the things, I shouldn't say things, that would make us happy. And one of those things is to forgive people and let it go. So we're sitting there like holding on, nurturing these kinds of resentments. And then going like, you know, I want to be happy at the same time. It doesn't work that way. You have to do the kinds of hard things that we really don't want to do do the thing that we really want, which is to be happy. And I was giving this talk about how you've got to forgive people. If you're interested in your own happiness, you've got to let it go. You've got to forgive. There was a woman, she was sitting right back there, and she was like, I was watching her, you know, because I can see everything. No, you know, like some people are unclear on that. They're like in the audience, and they're like one of 130 people, and they go like, I guess he can't see me. I'm in a big crowd here. You'll never notice. You see. You notice everything. You see everything. And this woman, she was like, you know, we were talking about you got to forgive them, you got to forgive them, and she was like, you know, she was like ready to bolt. You know, she was trying to make, you know, sometimes people are too embarrassed to bolt. And she was like, her embarrassment was keeping her. But she's just like, no, I won't. And it was interesting because, you know, she was like, in her body language, was saying what everyone was thinking. No, not gonna. And it's just like, it's the inner 4-year-old in all of us that says, you know, you should do this. No. Yeah, but do you want to be happy? Yes. Well, then you should do this. No.